All right, so today we're going to be talking about strength training and weight loss, and I'll give you some plan of action here at the end of the video and at the end of the article on like how I actually set up training for a client who wants to lose weight and why I think strength training is really a great foundation to helping people accelerate the progress in weight loss. So, first and foremost, if your goal is to change body composition, then nutrition is going to have to be at the top of the list. With that being said, though, strength training is a great way to accelerate your progress. And I believe every human has the ability to become the best version of themselves when they're strength training with the right intensities and with the right programming. So, why strength training? Humans evolved moving constantly. It's what we do. All of our body's processes work better when we move. This is why exercise is like a magic pill for a lot of clients. Within a couple months, I've seen clients overcome diabetes, high blood pressure, chronic aches and pains, low confidence, etc. The list goes on and on. And speaking in more general terms, there is something really satisfying about constant growth you can achieve with strength training. So it's empowering, and you can accomplish physical feats that your body has never, been able to do or you never thought was possible, and that can be life changing when your daily routines become less labored. It's amazing what people will do with all the extra energy. So this is why I believe strength training and being in this industry of coaching people is really one of the best professions in the world, if not one of the most gratifying. So let's talk about why it's so important that we strength train and what are the mechanisms at play. So it's really, we're going to increase your metabolism by increasing your lean body mass. And so to be more specific as to why strength training is so good for weight loss is that if you want to lose a significant amount of weight, um, it's likely that you're going to lose some lean body mass along the way. We want to do everything we can to sustain lean body mass. It's super important. One of the most important parts of your lean body mass is your muscle mass. And muscle mass is really important because it requires constant energy to maintain. This means that you're going to be burning calories throughout the day, 24/7, just being alive when you have extra muscle. If a client wants to lose a significant amount of body fat, I try to organize their exercise program in a way that will help them lose fat but also maintain muscle mass. And I've even had clients gain muscle with this type of strategy. So how do we do it? A lot of times we do it with strength circuits, and so it's really a combination of two worlds, right? It's strength training, which is the foundational set of movements that we use to stress the skeletal muscle system. These movements are squats, split squats, deadlifts, pushing, pulling, carrying, sometimes some rotational exercises. Where circuit training is more of a style of like, two or more exercises, maybe even up to like 10 exercises, or like a half hour, hour long class of, big circuit of exercises. And the goal is to keep your heart rate up and, to keep you moving with short rest periods so that it's very cardiovascular in its nature. And so when we combine the two, you can think of these two different systems as two different individuals, right? On the extreme end of strength training, you got like a bodybuilder or like a power lifter. And then on the extreme end of like a circuit training, it's probably going to look something more like a distance runner, right? It's more aerobic. And so we want the best of both worlds. And this is exactly why I take both of the principles and turn it into like these strength circuits. And I've had a lot of great success. So what that looks like is you might do like a 5-minute warm-up movement prep, kind of patterning some of the things that we're going to do. And I typically break it up into 5 exercises, 3 rounds. We're shooting for 15 reps, 30 seconds rest in between exercises, 1 minute rest between each round. And so just to give you like some general ideas of what that looks like, we've got our squat variation, we've got our push-up, hinge, pull, carry, right? And maybe it's a split squat variation. I don't know. It's like upper body, lower body, upper body. I like to do it that way. It's just a convenient way to stress the body while giving it enough rest. So when we come back around for the next round, you're ready to go hard again. Because I want people to be able to complete all 15 reps, right? We want to be able to keep the heart rate up and get the right amount of stress so that we're getting strength, we're keeping the heart rate up. Best of both worlds. Another circuit that I might put people through is like, more specifically, it'd be like goblet squat, incline push-up, dumbbell, RDL, cable row, and then like a farmer's carry. And typically in an hour of session, I can usually get 2 of these circuits in. It really depends on somebody's training level, though. Sometimes if we're just going to get to one training circuit because of the time that we have together, then I'm typically going to end with some interval training. And, interval training is like sprinting, right? We use rower, we use Versa Climber, we have the ski ergs at Pro Sports Club, like prowlers are really great. There's a ton of ways, swings, there's a ton of ways to keep our heart rate up, doing some explosive interval training, which is nice. And basically what that would look like, if interval training was like a person, it would look like a sprinter, right? They usually have, a good amount of lean body mass on, and they're very lean. And so that's exactly what we're shooting for. We're trying to get more like that because that's what's going to help us lose weight. And so, hopefully this gives you some ideas. If you're training, if you're having trouble with losing weight and not getting results in the gym, like try this type of training and see how it goes. Obviously, there is a skill level to being able to do these movements, and but these movements are really the most bang for your buck if you can do them well without getting injured. Highly recommend doing something more like this. I think it's going to really help your progress with gaining some muscle, or at least maintaining your muscle and keeping your heart rate up, and just giving you the most for the time that you're putting in and investing in your workouts. So give it a shot. Let me know how it goes. Really excited to see what people have to say about this particular style of training, because it's been super helpful for me over the last few years, and I hope it's helpful for you too.